Funko is mainly a collectible company, but did you know that they've also made some video games? That's right. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 5 different video games that Funko has created over the years, and then we're going to be ranking them from worst to best. And I have a feeling that you haven't heard of a couple of these because they're really hard to find now. And so, let's get started with the first one. Gears Pop, created by Mediatonic, the same company that developed Fall Guys, a free-to-play platformer battle royale. Actually, a game that I really enjoy playing. And at first when I saw that Mediatonic was creating Gears Pop, I got pretty excited about it. This released back in 2019 and was announced at E3 2018 the year prior. It used Gears of War Funko Pops in a real-time strategy game where 2 players would battle to take over the opponent's base. So basically a reskinned Clash Royale, a game that released 3 years earlier by Supercell, the company that made Clash of Clans, and they actually used the same characters in both games. Within a year of release, Clash Royale made over $1 billion in revenue, so it makes sense other companies wanted to get a piece of the pie. Now, the Gears of Pop release was also accompanied with a set of actual figures that you could buy in stores. It was the regular Gears of War characters, but on the front it said that there was a DLC inside for Gears Pop, and it was actually a pretty cool way of doing it. Gears of War 5 was releasing a little bit later in the year, so I'm sure a lot of fans were going to want to pick that up, and they were waiting for the game to come out so you could also play Gears Pop for free in the meantime. There was also a giant Gears Pop collector's box exclusive to GameStop that had 4 figures inside, a hat, and some other stuff. One of the biggest collector's boxes Funko's done to date. But only 2 years after the release, the servers were shut down on April 26, 2021, so we can't play the game today. And now to rank this game, because it's not around anymore, even though it was fun when it first released, and it was kind of just a reskin of Clash Royale, I'd rather play that. I think I'm gonna have to put this in B. It was fun, but definitely not the best. Wetmore Forest Mushberry Challenge. Now this was actually part of Freddy's Arcade on Funko.com, and you could play different games to get a discount code for the website. All you had to do was bounce on the branches, saving other monsters to get a high score. You know what? It kind of reminds me of Doodle Jump, but I'm not complaining. I enjoyed that game. The monsters in this game were created by Funko and all have different names and personality traits. Like Tumblebee, for example, a larger, clumsy, horned monster with magical powers. Funko even went as far as creating animated shorts for most of these characters. Pickles, Snuggletooth, Slog, and Grub, just to name a few. You could also visit the Wetmore Forest at their headquarters in Everett, Washington. It was part of their store where they sold Funko Pop, shirts, plush, and a bunch of other products. And I just so happen to have a bunch of the monsters in my collection, and since we were talking about Tumblebee, I might as well show ya. Here he is! It's a really cute figure, and I'm a big fan of these guys, and I kinda wish they'd bring them back. They haven't talked about them in a while. Like, come on, look at how cute he is. If you wanted to visit the Wetmore Forest, though, sadly, they did remove this back in 2023 and switched it over to the Fun Mart, a place where you can go to pick up a lot of their food and Saturday morning cartoons characters. It's pretty neat, but no more Wetmore Forest. But anyways, getting back to the ranking, if I were to put this on the list, I think I'm gonna have to give it, because it is just a flash game where you're jumping higher and higher on the tree, probably C tier. Which I know is not crazy, but I think that's about where it goes. Freddy Funko Street Skating. Similar to Wetmore Forest Mushberry Challenge, this is another game a part of Freddy's Arcade. Around the time the monsters were released, Funko also came out with skateboards and apparel. And I thought they were really interesting. All of the designs were made in-house by artists, and they really do look nice. The goal of the game was to get their mascot, Freddy, to get the highest score in a Subway Surfer style game for, you guessed it, another discount code. Freddy's Arcade has since been removed off the website, so there isn't a way to play either of these games anymore. But I was able to use the Wayback Machine to actually check out the website and what it looked like back in 2019, so you get a good shot of what the page was, and you could scroll up and down checking out some of the products, but that's it. As soon as you click on it, it gives you an error, and there's no way to check them out anymore. And again, because this is just another simple flash game, I think I'm gonna have to give it again a C tier, especially because you can't play them anymore. Funko Pop Blitz, a match 3 game that released in 2020, developed by Eastside Games, who created other apps such as Cheech and Chong's Kush Kingdom, AEW Rise to the Top, and Power Rangers Mighty Force. I know, kinda random, but it looks like Funko just licensed out the Pop brand to this company to make another game. Alongside the release of Funko Pop Blitz, there was a brand new figure exclusive to New York Comic Con. It was Marty McFly in hazmat suit. You could pick it up with the sticker on the front promoting the game. I thought that was a pretty neat way to do it, because a lot of people really enjoyed that Marty with hazmat hazmat suit, and then the game was free, he was also in the game. You could play as him in that hazmat suit. But that's not all, because there are over 300 unique figures that you can play with, such as Hostess characters, The Office, Masters of the Universe, and so many more. And it's funny, when the game first released, I was actually sponsored to make a couple videos about it, and it was a lot of fun. They gave me a bunch of extra coins to get some free pops. And if you want to play this one for yourself, it is still available, which I think is crazy. There's events in the game all the time. I checked literally the day that I'm filming this video. And because of that, being the first one that we've talked about today that is still available, I think I'm gonna have to give this, because honestly, when I played today, I had a lot of fun with it still. We're gonna put it in A tier. It's pretty neat that they're still keeping up with it and that there's new characters being added. I feel like that's a reasonable spot to put it. Funko Fusion. Released in September of 2024 by 1010 Games, a company made up of former TT Games developers that created some of your favorite LEGO games. And because it is created by a lot of the original LEGO developers, the game feels similar in a way. There are 7 main licenses that you can play through: Jurassic World, Masters of the Universe, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, The Thing, The Umbrella Academy, and Hot Fuzz. I have been following this game since it was announced back at Hall H in 2022 during San Diego Comic-Con. You know, the same stage where Robert Downey Jr. ripped his mask off announcing that he was going to be Dr. Doom. This was definitely the most ambitious game coming from Funko because of the amount of levels and all of the licenses coming together. Something that did make it a bit easier though, and you might have noticed, is that 90% of these licenses are all universal. And actually, just a few weeks ago, I 100%ed the game. I have everything complete so far. Something else that's really neat is that this is the first Funko Pop game to get physical copies. I've got it on the Xbox, and I also have it on PlayStation, and I bought it on Steam. Look, I really wanted to have it on everything. Plus, you also got DLC codes to get. Come on, look at it, it's The Walking Dead. I had to. I don't know if you can tell, I'm a collector. And now, you know what, speaking of physical products, there was also a huge line of pops to go along with them, and I actually brought a few with me to show you guys. We have Mecha Freddy, and I love that Funko Fusion box. The way it's purple, it just looks so cool. And then I also decided to grab this one here, the main villain in the story. We have Eddie. These both sold out on Funko's website super quickly, so you can definitely tell that people are excited about the game and the characters to go along with it, because the first time either of these were seen were in the game, so this has definitely been pretty crazy. But now here's the thing, everybody. I have to rank this game, and taking this one and comparing it to all of the others almost isn't fair, because Funko Fusion is constantly being updated with new characters as well as levels coming in 2025. And so with every other Funko game that I've talked about today put into consideration, I think you guys know where I'm going to be putting this. It has to go S tier. Come on, it's the best. And well, everybody, there we go. That is all of the Funko Pop video games ranked. And let me know in the comment section below, would you have put them in any other order? I would love to hear it. But anyways, this has seriously been a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.